You're standing in your kitchen holding your phone. The account says $5,142,000. You don't call anyone, not your brother, not your best friend from college, not the coworker who used to make fun of your car. You just stand there, in the same kitchen you've stood in for years, and realize something nobody warns you about. The number changed everything except the one thing you thought it would change first: how it feels to be you. Everyone else changed instead. This is the story of how the people around you reacted, one level at a time, as you went from 0 to $5 million, and what those reactions revealed about them, not about you. Asterisk asterisk level 1, $0. The beginning. Asterisk asterisk. Your brother finds out you started a side business on nights and weekends. He laughs, not meanly, just automatically. Good for you, he says, in the tone people use for a hobby, not a plan. He goes back to his phone. Your best friend asks what the business actually does. You explain it. She nods along, distracted, checking her phone twice while you talk. She's not being cruel. She just doesn't think there's anything here worth her full attention, and she's not wrong yet, because there isn't, not at $0. Your coworker overhears you mention it at lunch. You and everyone else, he says, laughing at his own joke more than yours. Nobody at the table disagrees with him. Nobody has a reason to. You don't blame any of them. At $0, you don't believe it either. Not fully. You're doing the thing anyway, quietly, at night, after everyone else has gone to bed, because some part of you needs to find out if they're right before you're willing to admit they might not be. The first rule: at $0, nobody reacts to what you're building. They react to how unlikely it looks from where they're standing, and unlikely and impossible get treated like the same word by people who've never tried either. Asterisk asterisk level 2. $20,000. The first real number. Asterisk asterisk. You mention the number at a family dinner, almost by accident. Your mother's eyebrows lift slightly. That's wonderful, honey, she says, in the voice she uses for report cards. Not real accomplishments. Warm, slightly performative. She still doesn't believe this is a thing. Not really. She believes you're proud of yourself, which is different. Your friend asks more questions now. Not because the number impressed her, because the fact that you kept going impressed her. You're still doing that thing, she asks, and there's a small shift in her voice, respect mixed with disbelief, the way you'd react to someone still training for a marathon after the first blister. Your coworker doesn't bring it up again, not because he's impressed, because he forgot. $20,000 isn't big enough to remember. It's big enough to stop being a joke, but not big enough to become a fact people carry around in their head about you. You notice something at this level that will keep repeating for years. Nobody's reaction is really about the number. It's about whether the number confirms or contradicts what they already decided about you a long time ago. The second rule: $20,000 doesn't earn belief. It just makes disbelief slightly quieter. Asterisk asterisk level 3. $100,000. 6 figures. Asterisk asterisk. You tell your brother over the phone. There's a pause, longer than it should be. Wait, seriously? He says, and you can hear him recalculating something in real time. Not about the business, about you, about who you are compared to who he thought you were. Your friend throws you a small dinner to celebrate. Her idea, not yours. Halfway through she says something you don't expect. I always knew you'd figure something out, she says. And it's not quite true, but she believes it's true now, which is its own kind of rewriting. Your coworker asks, almost too casually, if you're still doing that consulting thing. He remembers now. He asks how it's going with a specific interest he didn't have at $0. You answer honestly. He gets quiet for a second, then changes the subject, and you understand exactly what that silence means without him saying a word. Your mother tells a neighbor. You hear about it secondhand, the way you always do. The neighbor says, wow, that's impressive. And your mother says, I know, I'm so proud, like she's been saying it for years instead of weeks. The third rule: $100,000 doesn't just change what people say to you, it changes what they now claim they always believed. And memory, it turns out, is the most flexible currency in any relationship. Asterisk asterisk level 4. $500,000. $500,000. Asterisk asterisk. Your brother starts asking for advice, not about the business. About his own money. Should he invest? Should he save differently? What would you do? 6 months ago he was recalculating who you were. Now he's asking you to help him become someone different too. Your friend introduces you differently at a party. This is my friend who built a whole company, she says, and something in her voice sounds like she's borrowing a little bit of your story to tell about herself, the way people do with friends they're proud to be close to. Your coworker asks if you're going to quit your job. There's something underneath the question that isn't really curiosity. It's a kind of nervousness, like your decision might say something uncomfortable about his. You tell him you're thinking about it. He nods slower than the question deserved. An old classmate messages you out of nowhere. Someone you haven't spoken to in 6 years. Hey, saw your post, congrats, we should catch up sometime. You don't respond right away. You've learned by now what catch up usually means at this level, and you're not wrong to wait and see. The fourth rule: at $500,000, people stop reacting to what you did and start reacting to what it means they haven't done, and that reaction rarely comes out looking like what it actually is. Asterisk asterisk level 5. $1,500,000. The first million, and then some. Asterisk asterisk. You buy your parents a car, not because they asked, because you can, and because some part of you still wants to hand them proof, even though they never needed proof to love you. Your father drives it around the block twice before he says anything. Then he says, you didn't have to do this, in a voice that means the opposite of the words. Your brother stops mentioning his own investments around you. Not out of embarrassment exactly. More like a quiet recalibration, the same one that happens between siblings when the gap stops being about luck and starts looking like it might just be about years of choices nobody was watching him make. Your friend gets quiet in a different way now. Not distant, careful. She starts prefacing things with, I know this is nothing compared to what you're dealing with, even when it isn't nothing, even when you tell her it isn't nothing. The gap has started editing how she talks to you, even though you never asked her to. Your coworker, the one who laughed at $0, sends you a LinkedIn message, professional friendly, asking if you'd be open to grabbing coffee sometime, to pick your brain. You remember the lunch table. You remember the laugh. You say yes anyway, because holding a grudge costs more than a cup of coffee. The fifth rule, $1,500,000 doesn't make people jealous the way movies suggest. It makes them careful, and careful is jealousy wearing a nicer outfit. Asterisk asterisk level 6. $3 million, the quiet tier. Asterisk asterisk you stop mentioning numbers entirely. Not out of secrecy exactly, out of exhaustion. Every number you share gets reflected back at you slightly distorted, filtered through what it means about the person hearing it, and you're tired of watching your own life turn into someone else's mirror. Your mother introduces you at a family gathering without mentioning the business at all anymore. Just your name, and something soft in how she says it, like the achievement stopped needing narration a while ago, and just became a fact of who you are. The way people stop introducing a doctor as the one who went to medical school. Your friend asks for a loan. A real one, meaningful to her, small to you. You say yes before she finishes the sentence. She thanks you in a way that has weight to it, and for a moment the gap between you disappears completely, replaced by something that was always there underneath the awkwardness the whole time. Your brother finally says it out loud, at dinner to no one and everyone. I used to think you were wasting your time. He doesn't apologize exactly. He just states it, like a fact he's finally ready to admit was true once, and isn't true anymore. The sixth rule, $3 million, is where most people around you stop performing a reaction, because performing takes energy, and by this level most of them have quietly run out of ways to pretend they're not impressed. Asterisk asterisk level 7, $5 million, the number you don't say. Asterisk asterisk, you're standing in your kitchen holding your phone, nobody else is in the room. You don't call your brother. You don't call your friend. You don't think about your old coworker at all. You think instead about the lunch table, years ago, the laugh that wasn't even really about you, just a reflex from someone who needed the world to stay small enough to make sense. You're not angry at him. You understand him better now than you did then. Amindio hangwideral. Your father still drives the car you bought him around the block sometimes, for no reason, just to drive it. Your friend still prefaces things with, I know this is nothing, even though you've told her 40 times it isn't nothing, because some habits outlive the reason they started. Your brother calls you now, sometimes, just to talk. Not about money, about nothing. The way brothers are supposed to talk. Before a number ever stood between the two of you deciding who got to be taken seriously first. Nobody in your life reacted to the money the way you expected them to. Back at $0, lying awake wondering if any of this would ever be real. They reacted to what the money meant about themselves, reflected back through you, at every single level, the whole way up. The seventh rule, at $5 million, you finally understand that their reaction was never actually about your wealth. It was about the mirror your wealth accidentally became, and some people love what they see in it, and some people can't stop flinching, and neither one was ever really about you. Somewhere right now, someone is telling a family member about a small business they just started, and getting a laugh they'll remember for years without meaning to. They think the laugh is a verdict. It's not. It's just a number too small yet to force anyone to look at themselves. Give it time and the same people will react differently, not because the person changed, but because the mirror got too big to look away from.